Beloved listener, there are moments in life when we search and search for change. We move mountains in effort. We labor in silence, yet nothing shifts. Until one day, a single sentence escapes our lips, and the world rearranges itself before our eyes. This sentence changes everything. It is not ordinary speech. It is a living command born of faith, wrapped in certainty. It is the sound of your soul deciding that the old story ends today. Listen closely. Your words are not idle. They are seeds, they are keys, they are invisible hands opening doors you thought were locked forever. When you speak with conviction, the universe obeys. Perhaps you have been saying, I can't, I lack, I never have enough. And life has been echoing those same words back to you. But here is the turning point. With one new sentence, one holy declaration, you ignite forces greater than fear, stronger than lack, brighter than any darkness that has followed you. Say it with me now. Everything I desire flows to me with ease. Nothing is withheld. All that is mine by divine right now manifests. Feel it. Let it roll over your tongue again and again until your very heartbeat aligns with it. See how the shadows fall away. See how the way opens. See how the unseen bends to your spoken faith. From this moment forward, do not speak carelessly. Every word you speak plants a future. And this sentence, this living, breathing truth will be your banner, your shield, your pathway. Everything I desire flows to me with ease. Nothing is withheld. All that is mine by divine right now manifests. Hold it. Repeat it, believe it, for truly, words are living forces that shape reality in ways far deeper than most people ever imagine. When you speak, you are not simply making sounds or expressing fleeting thoughts. You are planting something into the very soil of your life. Every sentence you utter carries within it a vibration, and that vibration goes out into the unseen, attracting to itself events, circumstances, and people that match its essence. Think for a moment about how a seed works. You place a seed in the earth, cover it, and for a while nothing appears to happen. But under the surface, in the hidden places, life is stirring, roots are forming, a sprout is preparing to rise. Your words work in the same way. They seem invisible and harmless, yet they are alive, they carry intent, and they shape what is yet to come. Most people go through life unaware of this power, speaking idly, repeating phrases of lack, limitation, and fear, and then wondering why those very conditions keep showing up. A person might casually say, I'm always unlucky, not realizing that each time those words are spoken, they are reinforced, planted deeper, and given permission to grow. Slowly, events align to make the statement true. This is not magic in the sense of superstition. It is law. Life listens to the language of your heart and your tongue. The unseen does not hear your complaints as jokes. It takes them as instructions. When you begin to understand that words are living forces, you begin to guard them with care, as you would guard a treasure chest filled with precious seeds. Imagine speaking a word of faith, a word filled with light and conviction over your day, your work, your relationships. That word goes out before you like an unseen architect preparing the way. It calls forth opportunities that were hidden, clears paths that seemed blocked, and opens doors that felt shut. When you say, everything I do prospers, and you feel it, you believe it, that sentence becomes a living force moving through your life. Even in difficulties, that living word whispers to the circumstance, reshaping it from the inside out. The words we speak are not empty. They carry our deepest beliefs, and when those beliefs are aligned with truth and faith, life responds with miracles disguised as ordinary events. Think of how builders follow a blueprint. They do not question the lines on the paper. They build according to them. Your words are the blueprint your life builds upon. Speak often of beauty, and beauty will rise up around you. Speak often of abundance, and doors of supply will open. Speak often of joy, and even in hard times you will see reasons to smile. This is why it is so vital to pause before speaking, to choose sentences that nourish rather than harm. A word of anger can cut deeper than a blade. A word of encouragement can lift a soul from despair. Once released, words cannot be taken back. but new words can be spoken to heal, to restore, to transform. When you truly grasp that words are living forces shaping your reality, you will never again call your speech insignificant. You will begin to speak with intention, to bless rather than curse, to declare what you seek rather than complain about what you lack. Over time, those living forces will gather and bloom into the life you have envisioned. This is not wishful thinking. It is the power you were given from the beginning, waiting only for you to awaken to it. A single spoken truth can dissolve years of limitation because truth is not just an idea. It is a force that breaks through illusions. So many people live under the weight of old beliefs, fears, and patterns that were spoken over them by others or repeated in their own minds for years. These limitations can feel like unmovable walls built from phrases like "you're not enough," "you'll never succeed," or "this is just how life is." Over time, those words become chains, and without realizing it, a person begins to live as if those chains are part of their very nature. But all it takes is one moment of clarity, one sentence spoken with authority and faith, to shatter those invisible barriers. When someone speaks a sentence of truth from the depths of their being, it is like striking a match in a dark room. Instantly, the room is changed. The darkness does not fight or resist. It simply vanishes in the presence of light. In the same way, limitations that have ruled your mind for years cannot hold their power when a higher truth is declared and embraced. For example, a person who has believed all their life that they are undeserving of good things might suddenly declare, "I am worthy of every blessing life offers, and I accept them now." When that is not just spoken but felt, when it is released as a living truth, years of self-doubt begin to dissolve. That one sentence becomes a turning point because it invites a new reality to take root. You may have noticed that certain words spoken at the right time have the power to transform someone instantly. A mentor says something simple, yet it opens a new path in the listener's heart. A child hears words of encouragement and suddenly believes they can achieve something they once thought impossible. This is because truth, when spoken with conviction, carries a vibration that breaks through layers of fear, disbelief, and conditioning. It is not the complexity of the sentence that gives it power, but the life behind it. Even something as simple as "I am free," or "I am whole," can be enough to shift a lifetime of feeling trapped or broken. Consider also how many people live bound by what they constantly affirm about themselves. They speak limitations daily. "I can't afford that," "I'm not lucky," "things never work out for me." These words reinforce the chains. But the moment they choose to speak differently, to affirm a greater truth, something begins to break. When someone says, "I am provided for in every way," even before they see evidence, they begin to change the blueprint of their life. The truth carried by that sentence starts to dismantle old structures of lack and scarcity. The beautiful thing is that truth does not require years of effort to begin working. It needs only to be spoken, believed, and allowed to move. One sentence can plant a new identity in your heart, and that identity begins to unfold in your actions, your choices, and your reality. The limitations that once seemed so strong were never as solid as they appeared. They were held together by repeated words and beliefs. Replace them with a living truth and watch them crumble. That is the miracle hidden in language, the ability to release a single sentence that becomes a key, unlocking a future far beyond what you thought possible. Your tongue is the steering wheel of your destiny, and every word you speak is a turn you take on the road of your life. Many people believe that circumstances alone decide their future, that fate or luck is in control. But if you look closely at your journey, you will see how often your own words have guided you to where you stand today. Words are not just sounds, they are decisions. They are like invisible hands pulling you in the direction you declare. When you say, "I can't do this," you turn the wheel toward limitation. When you say, "I will find a way," you turn the wheel toward opportunity. Your life does not move randomly. It follows the path shaped by the language you repeatedly choose. Think of a driver who keeps their hand steady on the wheel. Wherever they steer, the car follows. In the same way, your words keep steering your thoughts, your actions, and your expectations. If you continually speak about lack, fear, or failure, your mind starts to search for evidence to support those words, and soon your path is filled with experiences that match them. But if you speak words of direction, faith, and courage, your inner compass shifts, and you begin to notice doors you never saw before. Life responds to the tone you set. The road you travel becomes brighter when your words are full of vision. There are countless moments when people feel stuck, as though life is steering itself. Yet, when they pause and listen to their own speech, they discover that they have been giving life instructions without realizing it. Someone might wake up each day saying, "Nothing ever works for me," and without surprise, nothing ever seems to. But when they choose to steer differently by saying, "Good things are unfolding for me now," they are setting a new direction. Even if circumstances seem unchanged at first, the shift has already begun within. Words are seeds, yes, but they are also guiding stars, showing you the route to the reality you speak of. The most powerful aspect of this is that the steering is always in your hands. You may have spoken negative things in the past. You may have turned your life toward difficulty unknowingly, but at any moment you can decide to speak differently. You can take hold of the wheel again. You can say, "I release the old path. I now move into abundance, peace, and success." And in that moment you make a turn. It might feel small, but over time that turn leads to a completely new horizon. Every journey begins with a single change of direction, and every change of direction begins with a word. Be mindful of casual speech, because even idle words have the power to nudge the wheel. Jokes about misfortune, repeated complaints, careless declarations of defeat, they all have influence. Instead, choose words that affirm life, that affirm growth, that affirm the good you are ready to receive. Speak as if your words are mapping out your future, because they are. When you master your words, you master your path. Your tongue does not merely describe your life, it designs it, one sentence at a time. When you realize this truth, you speak with care, with vision, and with power, knowing that every word is another turn on the road to your destiny. What you repeatedly declare, you magnetize, and this is one of the most profound and mysterious powers you hold. Every time you speak a sentence with emotion and belief, you are not just describing something. You are drawing it closer. You are summoning it into your experience. Your words are like magnets charged by your feelings, sending out signals that attract matching circumstances. When someone repeatedly says, "I never have enough," they are not simply sharing a frustration. They are setting a pattern in motion that continues to bring lack. On the other hand, when someone declares, "Everything I need comes to me at the perfect time," even before they see evidence, they are magnetizing supply, opportunity, and support to appear in unexpected ways. The principle is simple but often overlooked. Repetition strengthens attraction. A single positive declaration can plant a seed, but repeated declarations water it, nourish it, and pull it into manifestation. Think of someone who begins each day by saying, "I am favored, I am guided, and life is working for me." Those words, spoken daily, begin to saturate the mind. The subconscious starts to align with that belief, and soon, decisions are made with more confidence, actions are taken with more courage, and opportunities seem to arise more easily. It is not magic in the sense of fantasy. It is the natural law of focus and magnetism at work. Most people unknowingly magnetize what they do not want because they keep declaring it. They speak of fears, problems, and obstacles over and over, not realizing that their words are giving those things power. The universe does not take a joke. It takes you at your word. If you say 10 times a day, "I'm always broke," you are reinforcing that vibration, and life mirrors it back. But the good news is that the opposite is just as true. If you begin to replace those declarations with words of abundance, money flows easily to me, I am blessed beyond measure, you begin to create a new magnetism. Slowly, the old patterns lose their hold and new ones take root. It is important to understand that the power lies not only in the words, but in the belief and consistency behind them. Repeating a sentence without feeling is like planting seeds in dry ground. But when you speak with conviction, when you allow yourself to feel the truth of what you are saying, the magnetism becomes stronger. Repetition with emotion turns an ordinary phrase into a living force. This is why affirmations work best when they are spoken as if they are already true, with gratitude and certainty, not as distant wishes. Over time, repeated declarations begin to reshape your inner identity. You start to see yourself differently, to expect differently, and those inner shifts naturally reflect in your outer life. People around you might notice you seem more confident, more at peace, more aligned. Opportunities that once passed you by begin to find their way to you because your words have been signaling to the universe what to deliver. What you declare, you magnetize, and what you magnetize, you eventually live. This is a power always available to you, ready to be awakened by the words you choose to repeat day after day. Hidden power awakens the moment you speak with faith, because faith is the spark that turns ordinary words into creative commands. For most people, words are spoken casually, almost mechanically, without any expectation that they will do anything beyond express a thought. But when faith enters, something extraordinary happens. Words stop being mere sounds and become living forces, charged with the energy of belief. Faith is like electricity running through a wire. Without it, the wire is just metal, but with it, light comes alive. In the same way, your words can lie dormant until faith breathes life into them, and when that happens, hidden power stirs within you and around you. There is a part of you that often sleeps quietly beneath doubt and routine, a part that knows all things are possible, that knows you are connected to an infinite source. This part is awakened not by begging or worrying, but by speaking as though what you desire is already true. When you say with faith, I am guided, I am protected, I am supplied, you are not just hoping, you are activating that inner knowing. Faith does not speak from fear or lack, it speaks from the end result, from the place where the prayer is already answered. And when you speak from that place, you awaken something powerful within yourself that aligns you with that reality. Many people carry dreams for years without seeing them fulfilled, not realizing that their words often contradict their desires. They might dream of abundance yet speak constantly of struggle. They might wish for love yet repeatedly declare that no one cares. But when you begin to speak with faith, when your words and your belief finally match, the hidden power that has been waiting all along begins to move. Doors that seemed sealed begin to open, ideas that were dormant begin to flow, and people who can help you suddenly appear as if by coincidence. This is not luck, it is the response to a life-giving word spoken with faith. Speaking with faith also awakens courage. It shifts your focus from what is lacking to what is possible. Imagine someone facing a difficult situation who says with trembling yet sincere faith, all things are working together for my good. At first, the mind may doubt, but as those words are repeated with belief, fear loses its grip. A new strength arises, the kind that cannot be explained logically. Faith-filled words reach beyond circumstances. They call upon a higher order that begins to orchestrate events in your favor. What once felt hopeless begins to feel guided, and that feeling shapes actions, attitudes, and outcomes. This hidden power has always been within you. It is not given by another person. It is not held by fate. It waits for your command, for your declaration spoken with unwavering trust. Every time you speak with faith, you are writing a new script for your life. It does not matter how things have been. It matters what you dare to speak now. Faith is the key that unlocks unseen resources. It gives weight to your words, substance to your intentions, and life to your dreams. When you speak with faith, the invisible becomes visible, the impossible becomes inevitable, and the path ahead becomes radiant with possibility. Hidden power is not somewhere far away. It awakens the moment you dare to speak, as though you are already standing in the life you long for. A sentence charged with belief can rewrite your entire future because the future is not fixed. It is shaped moment by moment by the thoughts you hold and the words you release. So many people think their destiny is a straight line carved in stone, that nothing they do can truly change the course they are on. Yet again and again, life shows us that one decision, one realization, one declaration made with deep conviction can alter everything. When a sentence is charged with belief, it becomes far more than a statement. It becomes a seed of destiny, planted with purpose, watered by faith, and destined to grow into something far greater than the circumstances that surround you today. Consider how many futures are silently written by words of defeat. Someone says over and over, "I will never get out of this situation," and their actions, choices, and expectations begin to fall in line with that belief. Years can pass and nothing seems to change because their own words have been building walls around them. But then imagine that same person, perhaps in a quiet moment of clarity or desperation, speaking aloud a new sentence, "I am breaking free. A new life is unfolding for me now." If those words are spoken with belief, something stirs within them. They begin to see options where before they saw none. They take steps they never considered. Their energy shifts, and so does the world around them. That single sentence becomes the turning point, the first brick in a new foundation. Belief is the force that activates this power. Words without belief are like arrows without a bow. They may be formed, but they do not fly. When you speak with genuine belief, your words gain direction and strength. You begin to align your inner world with the reality you are declaring. The subconscious mind, which has been faithfully carrying out old instructions, begins to rewrite its programming. You stop identifying with your old story and start living from a new identity, one that matches the sentence you have chosen. Over time, that inner shift reflects in your habits, relationships, and circumstances. It is remarkable how quickly life can respond when you speak from this place of certainty. You might find that after declaring a new truth, unexpected help arrives, opportunities seem to find you, or solutions you had overlooked suddenly become clear. This is not coincidence, it is alignment. A sentence charged with belief sends out a clear signal, and life begins to reorganize itself around that signal. It is as if you have given the universe a new set of instructions, and it immediately begins to obey. The beauty of this truth is that it is available to you at any moment. You do not need to wait for perfect conditions or a distant future to begin. Right now, you can choose a sentence that represents the life you wish to create. Fill it with your full belief and speak it until it becomes the air you breathe. Maybe it is, "I am living in peace and abundance," or "I am healed and whole in every way," or "I am walking in divine favor wherever I go." Whatever sentence feels true to your highest vision, speak it and charge it with belief. As you do, watch how your actions begin to rise to meet those words, how circumstances begin to align, and how the future you once thought impossible starts to unfold before your eyes. In that simple, powerful act, you discover that your future is not written. It is spoken, and you hold the pen in every word you choose.